Obama shows us just how much the times have changed. They used to get drunk out on the battlefield when they were in the foxholes, and then in Vietnam they used to smoke the ganja or marijuana or whatever they called it back then, weed, pot, tea. And you see it in platoons because there's a countercultural clash. And so all this growing up was taking place. I'm not protesting any wars. I'm just getting to the heart of the matter. War is a symptom. It is a vicious cycle. Now, we're looking at civil war, and it could be a bloodbath, or it could be something relatively peaceful, and it's going to be the decision of the people of the nation. And that's the real nation. That's we, the people, being restored to their true power and right, because they're righteous. Obama says, and he may be part of the equation, that's why I'm saying, look at how times have changed. They've changed on the surface, but let's scratch a little bit deeper. What's going on underneath? Why does Obama want us to think that he could have been Trayvon Martin in a what-if scenario? Do you have any ideas, folks? I mean, put on your thinking cap, because the Commander-in-Chief wants us to think. Can we do that? How is it possible that the president could have been Trayvon Martin and end up tragically like that, tragically young? It's very sad. So I'm thinking, all right, so I could have been Trayvon Martin. And that's how I relate to it. I said, I could have been Trayvon Martin. I also could have been myself. People are just like wondering about that. I could have been myself. That could have been that me that I was thinking about could have been myself. You see how confusing it is? Do you understand? The public education has trained our minds to be able to think. Am I correct? Is that an accurate description? Or it is a hypothesis of wishful thinking? Can we do critical thinking, or is it wishful thinking that we can do critical thinking? How could someone do a what if when they're already risen above all of that and reached the pinnacle? Well, one of the, popular pinnacles or political, social, contemporary, conventional, all the words, all the adjectives for that pinnacle that they reached. Socially acceptable, reputation. I'm talking about status, man. But if you put a negative light on it and you say, well, when Obama was young, he could have been killed for doing what? What did... See, it's like now it has to be part of the public myth, Well, who decided that, first of all? Who decided what our story is going to be? Who decided this for us? I know that somebody's deciding it. But that's what you need to wake up to. Someone's deciding what your story is. And that is the question. You come up to the people. I walk down the street and I just see people, just get past that whole stranger mentality, that paranoia. I'm an American through and through. Now, if I come up to you, I'm going to talk and I'm going to say, what's your story? What is your story? And that you better come up with something. If you start telling me, well, you know what if I could have been Trayvon Martin? That could have been me. Is it good to be Trayvon Martin? Who is he? And nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows who he is, and now it's too late. Do you know that several years ago, I believe it was in 2008, that year, also in the state of Florida, also, there was a YouTuber, back in those days of ancient history when YouTube was still young. He was YouTubing, just like me. Do I look like Anderson Cooper to you? And everybody else. And his name was Biggs, not Biggie, the rapper, but Biggs. That name is spelled B-I-G-G-S. You can look it up. In fact, I did a video of it on my 1000 YouTube channel. And he killed himself. He killed himself. That could have been me. That could have been me. He was another YouTuber, and I'm another YouTuber. He killed himself live in his video. He filmed it. I don't know how he released the video, because they didn't do live feed then. How was that? Anyhow, the video got out of him killing himself on camera. And this became all the rage, because it was a debate like about committing suicide with the videotape in mind. And just prior to that, they did a hangman's noose debate. Hangman's noose. Should we teach people how to make a hangman's noose? And it was like, oh, but hold on, it's just information. We're not telling them what to do, just like I'm saying here. The president says that what if that was him? Because Trayvon Martin could have been him. Well, just by the same token, couldn't a lot of us, or all of us, have been Zimmerman? Or you can't do that because he's still alive. You can only do that with a dead person and say that could have been me. Well, we can do that with Abraham Lincoln, or we can do that with George Washington, and like I did. In conclusion, I could have been FDR. I could have been Franklin Delano Roosevelt.